In the late 1970s, Los Angeles was paralyzed with fear as women began turning up dead on the city's hillsides, strangled, posed, and discarded like trash. At first, police believed a single Hillside Strangler was responsible, but it was actually two cousins, Angelo Buono and Kenneth Bianchi. Together, they used fake police authority to lure victims before torturing and killing them. As the bodies piled up, detectives formed one of the largest task force in LA history, but every lead went nowhere. Tonight, we'll look at how these two men found each other and how their crimes turned Los Angeles into a city on edge. I'm Mike.
I'm Ian.
And I'm Dave. If you thought it was just a great place to get your Pontiac Fiero seats reupholstered, stick around, because in this upholstery shop, the only things getting recovered are bodies. This is Necronomipod.
Dave, I appreciate you cutting your vacation short by about 10 days, rushing back to the studio so we can discuss the late-breaking tragic news. Founding member of KISS, Ace Frehley, has passed away.
I was beside myself with grief over Ace's passing, but also the fact that if you were trying to fuck that night and the news came on that you would get a limp dick all of a sudden when you found out that Ace had passed, and I was worried. Like you might be on a paid gig somewhere in Nebraska or something working, and you lose your boner, and I was worried about you.
It would certainly knock me out of my New York groove, and I would not be able to fuck. And the lovely lady I would be with that night would certainly be a hard luck woman.
Love what you did there, pal.
I certainly was shock-mead by the news.
Shock-mead.
But I mean, I guess if I had if you're doing one of those morbid who you pick to die next or first, I think I probably would have taken Ace in the KISS lineup.
I suppose, right? Well, Peter Criss a big drunk too, or is he sober now?
I think he had been sober for a while, and he's the oldest of them, so he's got the age factor.
Yeah.
Ace just, I don't know, just seemed a little bit more gone.
Is that what I'm looking him up here. I don't know who we were talking
To be fair,
about.
I think he had been sober for many years, Ace, I think. I don't think he was on anything recently. What was the news story? He had fallen in his studio, like back in September, in his home studio, and hit his head. And they thought he was going to be fine. Like I know Eddie Trunk, the radio jockey in New York, who's a big metalhead, is friends with them. He shared text messages that they had after Ace was already in the hospital. And then there was like a slow brain bleed that they discovered. Man. And then that's what took him out. He was on life support for a little while, and they just, they decided to pull the plug.
Wear your helmet out there, whatever you're doing.
Oh, man.
That happened to my great uncle. He hit his head. I can't remember what he did, but he like bumped it. It wasn't even that bad. And then 6 months later, he died, and it was that slow brain bleed.
That's terrifying, man.
Yeah.
Helmet or Jimmy hat? Don't forget your Jimmy hat.
Same. Yeah. Yeah. Just treat them both extra safe. Either that's going to happen, or if you hit your head enough, you're going to fucking end up like Tito Ortiz and all the fucking CTE shit he's got going on and the shit he says. I was just watching a video earlier of the 5 dumbest things that he's like said. Oh my God.
Is one of those things I do when he said to Jenna Jameson.
It's so many things. The one, he was running for like a office or something.
Yeah.
And, he was
mayor,
like,
right? Mayor of somewhere, maybe?
And he was like all pumped up in his speech. And he's like, together we stand, divided we will not fall. And like people were like, And like there's like a little bit of people clapping, but everyone's like, what the fuck did this man just say?
Fool me once, shame on you.
Fool me twice. You're not going to fool me again. He makes George W. Bush looks like an ultimate orator.
I saw a TikTok video the other night that said the caption on the screen was George Bush wasn't a real person or isn't a real person. It was a video of him trying to open that door that's locked. And he pulls it, it doesn't open, then he pushes and it doesn't work, and then he just turns around and just stares.
Short circuited.
I forgot about that video.
He pulls that door so hard and it's
That's good shit.
I saw some other sad news while I was away. The lovely and talented, let's say the stunning Rhea Ripley broke her nose in a match in Japan, I believe.
Oh, I missed that news.
Yeah, how about that? Look at me breaking wrestling news to
See?
you.
Look at that. I certainly hope they can salvage it.
So, yeah, very sad. Very tragic.
They don't want her coming back looking like Charlotte Flair or something. Yeah, they're overdoing. They just did a tour of Japan. I think they came back for what is today? We're recording this on a Tuesday. Last night's Raw, I think, was back in the States.
Okay. All right.
I think. I have not been watching much at all recently.
Well, they're back in the States just like me, ready to work.
Yep. See?
Do you guys have a nice week off?
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
All right.
yeah, I worked on this. I listened to the Audible book about our subject tonight. That's about it, really.
Okay.
I watched the Oilers get off to a tumultuous start to their season, but not awful, not great.
Oh yeah, I watched a lot of football. Been watching a lot of football this year.
Yeah, you have been. You've been like in every game, like just knowing what's going on.
Yeah, because we're fucking making parlays. That's why.
That's true.
Yeah, that's the one way to stay involved.
Yeah.
I won you guys some money the other last week with some NASCAR bets. I think I told you early in the week who to bet on.
That is true.
You guys did, and I was correct. So enjoy that Diet Coke on me. I mean, like the $9.99 12-packs that you guys have to buy now, since they're certainly not under $7.
If you buy more than one there.
Well, all right. Well, Ian, you said I had not heard this story. Surprise, surprise. But you said this might be one of the last of the big ones we haven't covered.
Yeah, I think so. I think this is, there's probably something I'm missing, but off the top of my head, when you think of the ones that are like that core serial killer, you know, that had like the whole city or whole state, whatever, up in arms.
All right.
And these two are the most obnoxious fucking criminals that we've talked about, I think. They're
Awful.
up there.
Yeah, for sure.
The book, The Hillside Stranglers by Darcy O'Brien, is the book that I listened to for this. The audiobook portrays Angelo as having this like kind of like he's the boss, but it's an Italian, it's a very stereotypical Italian accent, and Kenneth is like the kind of wise guy idiot kind of voice. Like it's really weird for an audiobook, but yeah, these two are very obnoxious. Angelo Buono was born in Rochester, New York on October 5th, 1934. His parents got divorced, and then he moved in 1939 with his mother, Jenny, and his older sister, Cecilia, in South Glendale, California. Jenny supported the family by working at a shoe factory. So that's a very hard life, working at a 1930s shoe factory.
Jeez. So she cobbled together some income then.
Angelo said that his mother was promiscuous. He talked about an example where she would leave him outside of an apartment while she went up to have sex with a guy. It's debated on whether or not that's true, but we do know as he grew up, Angelo would call her a cunt and a whore to her face in front of multiple people. Regardless of where it came from, Angelo just had a complete hatred of women. Every girl throughout high school and later into adulthood was just a dumb whore. That's his words.
Was that how he pronounced it? Dumb whore? Not like the Ralph Cifaretto pronunciation from The Sopranos. No. They didn't talk like that up in Rochester. Do Rochester Italians not talk like that? A hua. She was a dirty hua.
Which one was Ralph?
Joe Pantaleone, the guy that Tony beat to death in the kitchen.
I couldn't fucking stand that guy.
She was a hua.
I don't remember him talking that way, but that makes sense. He was also the funny boss in the Bad Boys franchise. Martin Lawrence, Will Smith. He was great in that. He was hilarious. Like, all that neurotic boss. I'm glad I saw Bad Boys first. Otherwise, I would absolutely loathe that man like you guys do fucking Todd because of Sopranos. But Bad Boys saved him.
Yeah, he was a real piece of shit. And
he beat the fuck out of that dancer, right? Behind the club.
The hua.
And they just all watched and like he just beat the shit out. I think she was pregnant even, and he killed her.
It was horrible.
I was fucking sitting there like I felt like my skin getting hot. I was getting so angry watching that scene.
Yeah, that was a rough one, man.
Yeah.
Are there a lot of criminal Italians up in Rochester? I think I've heard that.
It's fucking Rochester. Aren't they all on parole? Aren't they known for like their garbage plates up in Rochester?
Yeah, garbage plates. Yeah.
Garbage town, garbage plates. I played hockey up in Rochester a lot. It's not a bad
bold
town.
Statement.
Angelo got in trouble as a kid. In that age between middle school and high school, he was sent to the Peso Roble School for boys after he was convicted for stealing a car. There he learned about serial rapist Carol Chessman, who he viewed this Chessman guy as a hero. From the book by Darcy Bryan, quote, Chessman demonstrated the possibilities of police ruse. The red light he had attached to his car enabled him to con lovers parked in the hills of Los Angeles into opening their car windows and doors for him. They took him for a policeman. Showing a .45, Chessman would force the girl into his car, drive her to another secluded spot, and usually make her perform oral sex. To Angelo, he was a heroic combination of guts and brains.
He sounds swell. What a role model, right?
Yeah, that's the wrong hero, right?
He did that in high school. I really feel weird about having done that now because it's so sketchy. But like breaking off a red light from like traffic dividers and then driving up behind people and holding it above your car roof just so they pulled over out of the way and you drive by and laugh.
Christ.
Like, Jesus, probably a fucking felony now, right? Impersonating an officer. But
I was wondering where you were going with that because you were like, it's super sketchy to do this now. And you didn't clarify beforehand. Like, which part
to rape, to make girls perform oral when you show them a .45? Yeah, that's still sketchy.
I 100%, when you first said that, started going back to the notes like, wait, what is he referring to? What is he saying he used to do? I'm so glad you used to impersonate a cop and not the other stuff.
That's like a major felony. Right?
I think it probably is. They had those, one of the traffic construction barricades, and most of them had yellow lights. But once in a while, you come upon one of the red ones. Yeah. We took one off of there, and you could turn it off and on. You just drive up behind people and hold it, and they would pull over like they were getting pulled over, and you just drive by and laugh. I don't recommend that. Don't do that again.
Oh God!
No, that's
don't do that at all.
It's not this. It's fucking jerking outside of a hometown buffet.
Ground round.
Ground round. That's what it was.
Hey, that wasn't me, man. There was no jerking. It was just pissing on the window.
Oh, sorry. Right. We should probably clarify.
I didn't do it.
Well, I know it wasn't you, but still. Pissing outside of a ground round.
Pissing on the window.
I was trying to clean it up.
It happens, right? Let he amongst us who's not pissed on a ground round window while someone was trying to eat lunch. Cast the first stone.
Oh my God.
So in 1955, Angelo got a girl from his high school pregnant and married her. He left less than a week later, and this is the start of Angelo just having a million kids. In 1956, she gave birth to Michael Lee Buono, Angelo refused to pay child support and wouldn't let the boy call him dad. Angelo was in jail again for car theft when Michael was born. And then at the end of 1956, Angelo had another son, Angelo Anthony Buono III.
These people with their fucking names, they just all have the same names. Like that scene in Goodfellas, right? Where it's all like Anthony's and John's or whatever it is.
This is my cousin Anthony's nephew Anthony.
Right. Guidos.
In 1957, he married the mother, Mary Castillo. Mary then had more children every year or two. Peter in 1957, Danny in 1958, Louis in 1960, and Grace in 1962. He is not taking care of a single one of these kids.
Jeez, he needs some Jimmy hats, right, Ian?
Something.
Fucking Jimmy hat on, pal.
Bells. Fucking pull out every now and then, pal.
Exactly. Is that too hard to ask? Put a Jimmy hat on that little Buono.
In 1964, Mary filed for a divorce, and this was after years of domestic violence, including sexual violence. Another quote from Darcy O'Brien's book regarding this relationship, quote, "Her pain seemed to give him the greatest pleasure, and when she failed to respond to his pinches or slaps or pile driver poundings, he would tell her she was a, quote, dead piece of ass, nor did she share his passion for anal intercourse. But Angelo was not a man to be denied. Although he never drank, he beat and kicked her when she failed to please him, and far from caring whether the children witnessed the beatings, he seemed to want them to watch."
So the early indications in this episode are that this Buono character is not a swell fella.
No, he seems to be one of those that were just born he's just not a nice fucking guy. He's a violent criminal.
I know a lot of people argue with me, but some people are just born bad. Defective people. There's something wrong with them. They're bad.
In 1965, Angelo moved in with a 25-year-old mother of two kids named Nanette Campina. With Nanette, he had Tony in 1967 and Sam in 1969. Nanette was treated just like Mary was, but she stayed with him because Angelo made it very clear that he would kill her if she didn't. In 1971, though, Nanette decided to risk everything to get away from Angelo, who at this point had started to sexually abuse her 14-year-old daughter because she had kids before he came into the picture. Angelo would brag to his friends that he had raped his stepdaughter and then let his sons do it as well. We technically don't know if that's true or not, but I think it's safe to say that it is to at least some degree probably true. But Nanette took her kids and left the state for good.
So we're at horror show levels already with this guy. Ugh.
By 1975, Angelo had built a reasonable reputation as a car upholsterer. He bought 703 East Colorado Street for his home and his upholstery shop. He lived upstairs kind of thing. He had no employees, and working there alone gave him the privacy to do whatever he wanted. Then, not long after, his cousin Kenneth came into the picture. Kenneth Bianchi, Angelo's younger cousin, was born on May 22nd, 1951, in Rochester, New York. He never knew his birth mother. She was a teenager who gave him up for adoption. She was had drug issues and stuff. So she gave him up, and he grew up as the only child of very loving adoptive parents.
Another bad seed from Rochester.
They're 0 for 2 tonight. 0 for 2.
Yes, they are.
From early on, he had problems that had nothing to do with his adoptive parents. Kenneth lied compulsively, had deep staring spells where his eyes rolled back, and doctors thought that they might be mild epileptic seizures. He wet the bed and flew into rages. When his father died at 13, Kenneth showed no emotion and just shut down. In high school, he acted out and got bad grades, even though he was relatively smart. He did have some relationships, and he married his high school sweetheart in 1971, but she left within months, and it didn't sound like there was anything abusive. It just sounded like it was two young people made a stupid decision. They're like, oh, wait, this wasn't smart.
Yeah. It's a whole world out there to explore.
Yeah. Kenneth was one of those guys that craved power and control, but he didn't have the ability to actually get that power and control on his own. You know what I mean? So he figured being a cop was the way to go.
That's what you used to think, Ian. You figured being a cop was the way to go.
I know.
Once upon a time.
That
didn't turn out that was not the case, though.
That is so weird. That is the weirdest bipolar incident ever.
It was something.
So he took police science courses at a community college, but dropped out after one semester. Instead, he bounced through low-level security guard jobs and stole from his employers, and he would give whatever he stole, like jewelry and cash and stuff, to girlfriends he was dating.
I'm really impressed.
Yeah. Have you
security guard boyfriends give them stolen jewelry?
Have you seen a picture of these two? Like, he has the classic, like, kind of like the Italian pomp kind of thing. Like, I could just see him giving his girlfriends like jewelry and shit. Like, he got it for him.
Look at this, babe. Got this at the mall today when I was doing my rounds. Now let me see that round ass.
He's something. Dynamite mustache, though.
You want a mustache ride, Toots, huh? Is that what you want?
Oh, you know those two were catcalling and
oh my God, just
all the time.
Grossest people.
Mm-hmm. No one had anything bad to say about Kenneth regarding the police world or him doing work as a security guard. He came off as a harmless idiot, but he's not stupid. He's just, you get the impression like airheaded a little bit. There's times
Goofball.
where Angelo will stare at him, implying like, get the rope, and Kenneth will kind of have a blank stare on his face, and he has to like raise his eyebrows like, hey, fucking idiot. That kind of
get the goddamn rope.
Yeah, that kind of type, that kind of guy.
Not one for social cues.
Right.
Perfect partner when you want to do criming.
Yeah, right.
Good accomplice material.
Go talk to Charles Ng, pal.
But even though nobody had anything bad to say about him, no police department would hire him. He applied to the Monroe County Sheriff's Office in New York and was rejected. By 1976, he was restless and going nowhere in Rochester. And when his cousin Angelo invited him to Los Angeles for a fresh start, Kenneth jumped at it. Kenneth got to Los Angeles in January of 1976 and moved into Angelo's house. He was 24 at the time and very impressionable, so he was ready to prove himself. And to Kenneth, his older cousin's life looked super exciting. Angelo had money, flashy cars, young women, but we're talking a lot of them are underage. He ran his upholstery shop by day, and then on the side, he was essentially a pimp. When Kenneth moved in, Angelo had a group of teenage girls living at the house. You know, trouble, like runaways, kids that have fallen into drugs and doing sex work. Kenneth later said that it was like walking into a, quote, junior harem.
Lovely.
Okay, weirdo.
Angelo was effectively holding these girls prisoner and forcing them to have sex with him, and then sometimes turning them out as sex workers to bring in extra cash. Instead of being shocked, Kenneth was super into this. He was impressed. He saw Angelo as a role model. Was very into this whole thing of you could get whatever you want through intimidating people. But he's intimidating young girls. It's not like...
Real tough guy.
Yeah. For a few months, things were smooth. By the fall of 1976, though, Angelo kicked Kenneth out and told him to get his own place, that he was tired of having him around. Angelo later on said that he only let Kenneth stay with him as a favor to his aunt. They didn't have anything in common, and Kenneth was, quote, a goof who got on my nerves.
There you go.
Kenneth found a small apartment nearby in Glendale and got a job at a title company to pay the bills. He started dating a coworker named Kelly and moved her in. For a minute, it looked like he might settle into a normal life. He had a steady job, And this relationship with Kelly grew to the point where she got pregnant and he proposed to her.
All right, he's going to settle down, become a family man.
Something like that. The relationship wasn't great. By mid-1977, Kelly grew suspicious of Kenneth's behavior. He was staying out all night a lot, always with Angelo. Kenneth fed her excuses and lies about what they were doing. And some of them are fucking ridiculous. Like, he talks about going to the doctor and finding out he has cancer and stuff, like using a fake cancer diagnosis to explain away some stuff. Very weird. But in reality, he and Angelo were scheming ways to make money, and their thoughts had turned back to pimping.
Well, they shouldn't get their hopes up because it's not easy.
There's one thing WWE taught me. It's that pimping ain't easy.
Mm. That's still so funny to think about. Like being 10 years old and yelling about the hoe train and shit. Like, just don't even know what I'm talking about.
Telling your class,
hey, Marvin, we should get ourselves a hoe train. That sounds awesome.
Telling our classmates to suck our dicks.
Suck it, Marvin. He's like, oh, okay.
Right.
That backfired.
Yeah. Oops.
I didn't fucking mean it. Fuck off.
In June 1977, Kenneth lured a 16-year-old runaway named Sabra from Arizona into Angelo's house with a fake promise of a paid, quote, nude modeling gig. As soon as she got there, the cousins beat her with a towel and raped her. And like saying beat her with a towel, like they have it like fucking balled up, like super tight. You know what I mean? Like where it would really hurt. They kept her captive for months, forcing Sabra to do sex work for them out of Angelo's upholstery shop. When she disobeyed or tried to resist, Angelo starved her for days or whipped her. She's living in constant fear, but in early September, she found a chance and escaped. So she's there started in June. So it's like 3 months being held captive. Mm. In early September, during an outside job, which that's quote outside job is like, I guess an escort type service.
Yeah.
You know, she took off. She didn't stay in Los Angeles. She fled the state to Wisconsin because she was afraid that Angelo would find her and kill her. And we'll talk about her again next week during some trial stuff. Mm. Another teenage runaway named Becky also had been abducted by Angelo around that time. Becky managed to get away as well. So with the girls gone, because he was holding her captive as well, and these girls were essentially their paychecks, you know. But now with them gone, they have no money, and they're sitting around being pissed off about it. By the fall of 1977, the cousins were openly talking about not just finding new girls to pimp, like abduct and pimp, but the possibility of killing someone. On October 16th, 1977, Angelo and Kenneth paid $175 to a sex worker named Deborah Noble for what she advertised as a trick list, which was a list of local men who frequented sex workers. Deborah and her friend Yolanda Washington took the cash and handed over this list. After they left, Angelo realized that the list was full of fake names, and he was furious. Angelo and Kenneth decided to track down Yolanda, and they knew that she worked a stretch of Sunset Boulevard at night.
Do you sell any cuck lists, Mike? Like if I could buy one from you, see if any local politicians and whatnot are on that list?
Absolutely not. We practice extreme confidentiality.
Good,
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
As you should.
Yeah. Unless they don't vote the way I like, then I fucking expose their asses. Like, yeah, you see here on issue 2, you're going to vote yay, or I'm going to show photos of my cock inside your wife while you wear her dresses and sit in the corner painting your toenails, Mr. Mayor.
It's a very specific scenario.
It's just made up at the top of my head. It means nothing.
So the next evening, October 17th, around the time sex workers came out to find customers, they spotted Yolanda on her usual corner. They pulled up in Kenneth's large two-tone Cadillac and flashed fake police badges, pretending to be undercover cops. Angelo, in the driver's seat, said she was under arrest, and before she knew it, she was in handcuffs in the back of their car.
It's kind of weird. She must have remembered them from buying the list, right? And knew they were fake cops.
They're not close. So she's the friend of the girl who was selling the trick list. So she had never met them before. That's my understanding.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, it's a different name. What the hell am I even talking about?
Yes. So Deborah sold the list, and they end up going after Yolanda.
Interesting.
Instead of taking Yolanda to a police station, Angelo drove to his upholstery garage on Colorado Street. There, he and Kenneth raped her. Afterward, they strangled Yolanda with a ligature until her body went limp, then cleaned up. This became part of their pattern, that they would clean the body to remove evidence and avoid leaving forensic clues.
If you were killing people, wouldn't you always do that if you were able to? It seems like the smart thing to always do.
Yeah.
I guess people don't really think.
Probably they stopped thinking when they decided they were going to kill someone.
Valid point.
Yeah. Yeah, you could argue like Jeffrey Dahmer stopped thinking rationally.
You make a good point.
Late at night, they drove Yolanda's body to a hillside near Forest Lawn Drive by the Ventura Freeway and left her nude body on an embankment in a staged position. They wanted her found. A big part of their plan was to scare people. So like they posed her legs open. Angelo really liked the idea of taunting the cops and scaring the public. The following day, so that's October 18th, Yolanda's body was found on that hillside. She had faint rope bruises around her neck, wrists, and ankles. Los Angeles police concluded that she had been strangled and that the body had been cleaned, like we said, but they really put effort into cleaning it too, like her fingernails had been scrubbed. At that time, her murder looked like an isolated case. You know, unfortunately, sex workers, as we've talked about, they get labeled as, you know, those cases go cold.
Yeah.
But they did note that there was a very unusual effort to clean the body. That's something that they had never seen.
Your average man on the street who decides to kill a sex worker is probably not going to be going to those lengths to conceal his crime, right?
Yeah. Probably wouldn't even think of it.
Yeah.
After that first kill, it really clicked with these two. Like they were all in on this. Within 2 weeks, they were out looking again on the Sunset Strip, out looking for another victim. On the night of Halloween, 1977, 15-year-old Judy Miller was working the boulevard. Judy had been a student at Hollywood High School before she dropped out. She had fallen into sex work. She was very small. She was barely 90 pounds. They pulled up in their unmarked Cadillac and played the undercover cop routine, same thing that they did with Yolanda. Judy trusted them. I mean, she's 15 years old. It's ridiculous. But, you know, of course she trusted them. They drove straight to Angelo's shop in Glendale. At some point that night, they raped and strangled Judy. We don't need to get into the super graphic details of all this stuff, but like, it's really bad. And the stuff that they do is fucking, I don't know, it's unimaginable, some of the stuff they do. But Darcy O'Brien's book's out there if you want to, you know, deep dive some of that aspect of it, I guess. I don't know.
Like torture stuff?
Yeah, a lot of torture.
Yeah. These punks seem like they'd be up for torturing people.
And usually we do, you know, get into some details about stuff like that. But with their victims, we're talking like 15, 14, you know.
It's just not fun to talk about. I mean, it's not fun to talk about ever, but it's just like even more of a downer when it's, you know, fucking kids.
Yeah.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. October 10th is World Mental Health Day. And this year, BetterHelp is shining the spotlight on therapists, the people who truly make the world a better place. Moments in therapy, like the right question, a safe space to cry, or even a small win, can change lives. BetterHelp therapists have helped over 5 million people worldwide on their mental health journeys. That's millions of stories, millions of struggles. And behind every one is a therapist who showed up, listened, and help someone take a step forward. BetterHelp has been helping people find their match for over 12 years and has a 4.9 out of 5 rating with 1.7 million client session reviews. If you're looking for quality, BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct and are fully licensed. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform. After filling out a brief questionnaire, you'll be matched with a therapist that is tailored to fulfill your needs. And it's convenient, too. You can join with a therapist at the click of a button, helping fit therapy into your busy life. Plus, switch therapists at any time with no extra cost. BetterHelp sessions are done completely online, and you can pause your subscription whenever you need to. So this World Mental Health Day, we're celebrating the therapists who have helped millions of people take a step forward. If you're ready to find the right therapist for you, BetterHelp can help you start that journey. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/necro. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/necro.
On November 1st, they disposed of Judy's body on a residential lawn in La Crescenta, a suburban area north of LA. The homeowner taking out the trash that morning found Judy's body lying face up on his parkway, posed with her legs forming a diamond, so like her feet together, knees out, with the focus on, her private area. Horrified, this guy ran to the garage and covered her with a tarp and called police. When detectives arrived, they found the same ligature marks on her neck, wrists, and ankles as Yolanda had, and she was cleaned.
Can you imagine that, finding it in your driveway in the morning? Mm-mm. Sheesh. Also, why do we drive in a parkway and park in a driveway?
Why do we?
Same with the restaurant, Eat and Park. Like, that's not how it works. Right?
Yeah. I missed that place in town.
Me too.
That was a good spot.
Delicious.
They had a good buffalo chicken sandwich.
It's the closest thing to like a big boy hamburger you could get out here.
Are you say that again? Did you say that was the closest, or?
Yeah, that was the closest. No one can't really get that big boy burger out by us.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have anything like that anymore.
5 days later, they killed again. This time, the victim wasn't a sex worker or a runaway, but a young woman with a stable life. On November 5th, 1977, Alyssa Caston, a 21-year-old waitress and aspiring dancer, left the restaurant where she worked in North Hollywood and never made it home. The next morning, her nude body was found near the Chevy Chase Country Club in Glendale. She had been raped and strangled like the others with the same rope marks on her wrists and ankles. Her background stumped detectives. She held 2 jobs and danced with a professional dance group, like a backup dancing kind of thing, like a legit thing. She had no history of drugs or sex work. So this breaks the pattern of targeting sex workers. Kenneth later admitted how they caught Alyssa. They spotted her driving home from her job and followed her. Right outside her house, they flashed the fake badges and said they were detectives who needed to talk. They handcuffed her for, quote, questioning and took her away to be raped and killed. Does that still work nowadays, or has technology kind of stomped that out a bit? Like, are there people out there faking being cops and making it believable?
You do hear about people getting busted now and then for that because it's not believable and they're just jokers who think they're going to get like in security guard uniforms or something and think they're going to pass themselves off.
I suppose somebody somewhere is getting away with it to an extent, but I think overall, probably not.
It's just like back in the 70s, these dudes got away with this really, like, people didn't question it, it seemed.
People didn't question a lot, right? A lot of hitchhiking, a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah, nobody really gave a fuck about anything back then.
Yeah. People driving up behind you with fake red lights and pulling over.
Yeah. That is so fucking funny. I would have been all in on that.
It was my same car, my Camaro, where we bent the windshield fluid dispenser to one plugged it on one side, so I double press on the other side. You go pull up to people's windows and shoot them through their window.
No, that's a harmless prank. Fucking tearing down safety lights and then using them to pull people over, a little different.
That car had the hole in the floorboard where you can drop smoke bombs and shoot bottle rockets out of the bottom of it in traffic.
Fucking Fred Flintstone car.
A lot of cool shit in that Camaro. Anyway, kids, don't do crime.
Don't do crimes.
In the first week of November, so we're in 1977, a 24-year-old woman named Catherine Laurie said that two men posing as cops stopped her in Hollywood, flashed badges, and asked for her ID. Catherine's the daughter of actor Peter Laurie, pulled out her driver's license, and by chance, a childhood picture of herself sitting on her father's lap. The men, who we know are Angelo and Kenneth, looked at the picture, changed their tone, and let her go. Catherine later realized after they were arrested that she had escaped the Hillside Stranglers.
Is the implication that they knew the heat would come down on them if they killed a famous movie star's daughter?
Like maybe that's pushing it a little too far.
Yeah.
It also seemed like, though, for guys who got off on like all the attention, like the posing and the dramatics, this would be like the ultimate score for them, no?
Well, that's a good point, yeah.
Days after failing to abduct Catherine, Angelo and Kenneth killed two victims at once. On Sunday, November 13th, 1977, two girls were on their way home from a day hanging out at the mall. Dolores Cepeda was 12 years old and Sonia Johnson was 14, two best friends in middle school. Around dusk, they boarded a city bus at Eagle Rock Plaza, got off near their neighborhood in Highland Park, and were last seen walking toward a two-tone sedan with two men inside. Witnesses later said the car looked like an unmarked police vehicle, and the girls approached like they were being called over. That was the last time Dolores and Sonia were seen alive.
And killing kids now. Younger kids.
Yeah, like, I know for 15... Originally, and when I wrote this, I wrote that this was like one of the vilest things they did. But then I'm like thinking when I proofread again and I'm like going through my notes, I'm like, a 15-year-old is just as vile. Like they just keep getting younger, you know. A week later on November 20th, a 9-year-old boy digging for what I would presume is some pretty cool shit in piles of trash near Dodger Stadium found two decomposed bodies in the brush. Not what he was expected to find, right?
No.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make a joke of that. I'm going to start.
No, I think that's fine. Like, I used to go digging for shit. You're not expecting to find two bodies. Looking for someone who fucking buried some Hot Wheel cars and you find them and you're like, hell yes.
Hot Wheels. I had some cool Hot Wheels too.
I used to love that shit, man.
Set up tracks all over your room, fucking over this barrier, through this.
Have you seen those videos now that are on like TikTok and Instagram? I'm assuming TikTok because if I see them on Instagram, I'm sure they're on TikTok. Like the guys who set up the elaborate tracks and they strap a camera to the Hot Wheel. So like you're like point of view, like in the car. Dude,
that's cool.
It gets so fucking addicting. I'll be sitting there for 20 minutes just watching these things.
That's good stuff.
They'll like set it up in the upstairs and have like the whole track go like downstairs, around their house, out the back door into their yard. It's fucking wild.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's good shit.
So this boy found the remains and they were identified as Dolores and Sonia. Because of decomposition, police could only conclude that both had been strangled and raped, consistent with the other killings. But like when we say that they could only conclude like there was an issue with decomposition, they just couldn't tell if the bodies had been cleaned like the other ones were. The term shockwaves sounds super cliche, but the murders of two schoolgirls like this, you know, talking a 12-year-old, for real sent shockwaves through the city. These two were very frustrated about, especially Angelo, was very frustrated with the lack of media response in the beginning to killing sex workers. Like the first victim that they posed, he thought for sure that the media was going to be like, holy shit, this, you know, victim is posed. And it got a little blurb in the back pages of the paper. Like nobody really gave a fuck about it. But when they killed Alyssa Caston, she was the woman in her 20s that had a bright future. She had never been in any trouble. It's like a light bulb went off for them. Like, oh yeah, people will pay attention if we start killing people like that.
So like the more tragic the death, the more publicity they're going to get.
That's the truth, right?
Yeah. Well, and people who have more family to speak up for them are going to make more of a ruckus and create a bigger deal, I would assume.
Yeah, of course.
And maybe like you guys said with the actor's daughter, that's just a little too high profile. Maybe like, we're going to fuck around and get in trouble.
Yeah. Could be.
That same day, so November 20th, another body was found on a hillside a few miles from where the girls had been found. Hikers came across the nude body of Christina Weckler, she's 20 years old, on a hillside between Glendale and Eagle Rock. She was an honor student at a local art college. So again, it's really firing people up.
The hunting grounds have changed.
Yeah. Different this time, investigators noted 2 puncture marks on her inner arm. At first, they thought that maybe there was some drug use, but there were no needle tracks, anything like that. Later on, the coroner determined that she had been injected with Windex. Angelo and Kenneth tried injecting the Windex to kill her, and when that didn't work, they strangled her like the others. It's fucking... The way it's described in the book is so painful and insane to do that to somebody. But police kept this detail out of the public. They kept that to themselves. And we'll talk about that next week because that's something only the killers would know. Mm-hmm. So at this point, everybody in Los Angeles, they're terrified. And the media coined the nickname the Hillside Strangler because everyone assumed it was a single killer. No one pictured a serial killer, like a duo out there operating together. On November 23rd, 1977, the day before Thanksgiving, another decomposed body was found in the bushes near an off-ramp of the Golden State Freeway in Los Feliz. This body turned out to be 28-year-old Evelyn Jane King, an aspiring actress who had disappeared 2 weeks earlier, on November 9th. Evelyn had been waiting for a bus when she disappeared. Because her body had been hidden for so long, the forensic team couldn't determine if she had been raped or what happened to her for sure, but they could tell that she had been strangled. Authorities had no doubt that she was another victim of the Hillside Strangler. Within days of finding Evelyn, officials from multiple jurisdictions formed a Hillside Strangler task force. 30 detectives from the LAPD, the LA Sheriff's Department, and the Glendale police were assigned full-time to catch whoever was out here killing all these young women and girls.
Stuff, for sure.
Did you call it?
Stuff. Hillside Strangler Task Force.
Now that I've spit all over my microphone.
Despite this task force being formed and very publicly being formed, it didn't stop them or make them get any less bold in what they were doing. On November 29th, 1977, Los Angeles police found another body, the 9th known victim. Lauren Wagner, an 18-year-old business student, was found in the hills around Mount Washington. Lauren lived at home with her parents in the valley, and they had been expecting her to come home the night before. That morning, her parents saw her car parked across the street with the door open and no sign of Lauren. Her father asked a neighbor if Lauren had been with them. The neighbor said that she had seen Lauren pull up on the night of the 28th and watched 2 men approach her, one tall and young, the other older with bushy hair. Lauren screamed, quote, "You won't get away with this," and the neighbor saw them force her into their car and drive off. When her body was found, she had the ligature marks on her neck, wrists, and ankles, but this time there were also burn marks on her hands, which that's more of the torture stuff that they were doing. The neighbor's account was the first evidence that the strangler might be 2 men, not one. And that's another thing that detectives kept to themselves. They kept that out of the press while they kept looking for the killer. Yeah.
So this fucking neighbor didn't call the police? She just went to bed?
the worst fucking neighbor ever.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
What the fuck?
Yeah, like I don't understand how you see your witness to that whole scenario play out and you're like, well, all right. The task force took hundreds of calls around the clock, and the chief said that they logged more than 10,000 tips and leads. They had to check thousands of suspects, including about 4,800 parolees who slightly matched a profile. Which that's kind of scary, right? Or like you go through the list, you're like, all right, we got about 5,000 people that could possibly be behind this.
Right. Jeez. That is scary when you think about it.
They also put all this stuff into a computer system, which was brand new then, but the data was very messy. And I don't even think, like, there are issues with this investigation of them not sharing information properly, like most of these serial killer ones. But as far as like how fucking sloppy the data was with this computer center, I don't really fault them. It's 1977.
Brand new.
Yeah. Detective Frank Salerno from the sheriff's department later called it, quote, investigation by committee, and said, quote, there was really no coordination whatsoever. So yeah, like I said, there's definitely a lot of sloppiness going on, but the computer thing isn't their fault, I don't think.
It's fair.
They also had to consider that the killer could be one of their own. Victims were being lured by men flashing badges, so the strangler might be a cop. People weren't trusting the police, so the LAPD changed their policy with women to, I guess, prove that they were cops. If a female driver tried to run from a traffic stop, officers were told to not chase because women were so scared of the cops. And I guess if you're a woman trying to get away with something, it's the perfect time to do it, right?
Yeah, right.
Just
rob
take
some
off.
banks. Go steal jewels from the Louvre.
Jewels.
That was wild, man.
I always think of the Goonies, like they're holding up these fucking rubies. Like, where are you going with this? Like, how are you saving your house with? Like, you gotta sell this fucking ruby first.
That's right. Dad's going to the pawn shop up there to sell this bag of jewels. Make more money taking Sloth on tour, I think, than selling jewels.
On December 14th, 1977, they struck again. This time they targeted Kimberly Diane Martin, a sex worker who refused to work the streets while all of this was going on. She had started working for an escort type of a setup to take appointments. She thought that would be safer. The police are patrolling the streets extra heavy, so Angelo and Kenneth called the escort service that she worked for from a payphone at the Hollywood Public Library and booked an appointment at Hollywood apartment. The address that they gave her was an empty unit that they had gotten access to beforehand. Early the next morning, Kimberly's nude body was found on a deserted lot near City Hall in downtown Los Angeles. Like the others, she had been tortured, raped, and strangled. Getting into January 1978, weeks passed with no new discoveries. The holidays and New Year's went by without incident. But then on February 16th, 1978, 20-year-old Cindy Lee Hudspeth stopped by Angelo's upholstery shop just before closing. Cindy was a student and part-time waitress who needed work done on her orange Datsun. She knew of Angelo's shop, like he's like the local upholsterer, and wanted to get an estimate. Kenneth showed up while she was there. Seeing Cindy alone with Angelo, they decided that she would be their next victim. They subjected her to the same stuff as the others, and this one seems like it was just a crime of opportunity.
Yeah, probably.
To dispose of her, they put Cindy's body in the trunk of her Datsun, drove into the hills, and pushed the car off a cliff alongside the Angeles Crest Highway. The next day, a helicopter pilot spotted the wrecked car partway down the slope. Like, this is a bright orange car, so it was pretty easy to see. Officers found Cindy's body in the trunk. She had all the clear signs of a Hillside Strangler case. So now we're at 10 victims, and then just like that, the murder stopped. Cindy Hudspeth is the final known victim of the Hillside Stranglers, like the combined Angelo and Kenneth team.
The dynamic duo, if you will.
Yeah.
Douchebag duo.
There you go.
It's not a double D I'm a fan of.
No, sir, it's not.
Meanwhile, the task force had more than 100 officers, eventually up to 162, including detectives from across the county. They were under heavy pressure to show progress, and the task force made an arrest that fell apart. On March 30th, 1978, LAPD booked a Beverly Hills handyman named Peter Mark Jones after a Massachusetts convict, George Francis Shamshack, told investigators that Jones had killed 2 women and that he being Shamshack, had driven the van to dump the bodies. Police Chief Daryl Gates called it a, quote, major break. Detectives searched Jones's van and apartment but found nothing to back up the claim. And under California law, they had to either file charges by Monday or release him. On April 3rd, Chief Gates said that there was no evidence tying Jones to any of the murders, and Jones was freed.
Maybe you should research that before you arrest the guy a little bit, right? What the fuck is that? And what's with the 3 names? Peter Mark Jones, George Francis Shamshack?
Yeah.
This goes back to our Mark David Chapman conversation, right?
Exactly.
Some people just have that vibe, I guess.
Maybe you're just a real bad person if you have 3 names. And I don't mean like in a hyphenated last name, but like if you go by your first middle name and then your last name, like, I don't know. You guys want to talk about some people just being born evil? Maybe that's it.
That's the key indicator, probably.
I don't know. I'm just supposing here, but
maybe that's a show, Famous Scumbags with 3 names.
we've already covered all these people. We're just gonna shit on them again.
There was also a really big issue with their informant. The Shamshack guy was in prison when 3 of the killings happened, so there was no way that he could have been the driver for or actually be the Hillside Strangler. This was a really bad look for them.
If only there was prison records that they could have checked before they did the arrest.
If only.
It's too bad that technology wasn't available.
Interesting detail. During the peak of the killings, Kenneth still never gave up that dream of being a cop. He applied to join the LAPD and went on ride-alongs with officers who were searching for the Hillside Strangler. He sat in the back seat of patrol cars listening to police talk about the case.
It's kind of got that Ed Kemper vibe where he used to go up to the bar and listen to the cops talk about the case. How creepy is that when you find out later that you had one of the dudes in your car with you riding around?
Is it creepy that he was that close and could have killed you, or is it that creepy realizing that like you suck that bad at your job? Just asking questions.
2 different levels of creepy, right?
Yeah, right. What terrifies you more?
Or that you could have done a little police brutality there and taken care of the situation if you'd have known.
Police brutality, and nobody would have been mad about it at you for this one.
Might have got a parade.
A parade. That's funny.
For he's a jolly good bad cop. For he's a jolly good bad cop.
Well, he would have been okay in this one, right? He got the bad guy at least.
Yeah. Still not legal, but
Of course not. But you know what? Neither is what they're doing.
right you are, sir.
So we know from talking about serial killers for all these years that they usually don't just quit. They're usually caught or they died. Like very rarely, like the Golden State Killer is probably the only one that I can really think of that fully stayed out of the public eye, right?
Yeah, it's not usually a retirement package available. They're in it to win it till the end.
Even Dennis Rader couldn't sit still and had to get back in there and start talking shit.
And,
Yeah,
and
he had
all
won the game.
fairness, he was promised they couldn't find out who he was because of the floppy disks. So he was lied to. That one was cheating. They didn't catch him. They cheated.
Yeah, his comeback tour was pretty sloppy. didn't really pan out. Ticket sales were less than anticipated.
In my
Dennis
opinion,
Rader.
that should be scrapped from the record books, much like Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa's home run records, because there was cheating going on. It's not the same.
You think they should parole him immediately?
I didn't say that. I'm just saying the record book should show differently, that the cops cheated. They told an untruth to him.
That they did.
When I think of Dennis Rader falling for that, I think of like afterwards when he told the detective, he's like, "Oh, you lied to me." I think of The Office where Michael's like, "You cheated on me, and I specifically asked you not to."
I think we had this conversation probably on the show, because that's exactly where my mind went too. Just after all the horrible things he did, he's so like broken and upset that they lied to him, and they're like, he's like, "Well, wait a minute, you told me that you wouldn't be able to do that."
Really, dude?
You guys are so dishonest.
Yeah, right. That's funny.
Some investigators started to worry that the killer or killers had died or moved away, which would leave them with a case that might never be solved. One theory that went around, since they were looking for two killers, was maybe something happened between them. Detective Frank Salerno later said, quote, "Why did it stop if there were two? Were they both in custody? Did one kill the other? Who knows?" By the summer of 1978, with no fresh bodies, the task force wound down. Detectives were rotated back to other assignments. The Hillside Strangler case looked like it was going to become another really big, high-profile, unsolved case in California. Little did they know that the break they needed was coming from nearly 1,000 miles away, and that is where we will pick back up on part 2. Part 2 will get into what these guys do on their own, away from each other. And
solo tour.
Yeah. Yeah,
those never go so well, do they?
No. They were only stars together. When they break out on their own, they're nothing.
It never works out.
Nope, sure doesn't. Part 2 will be a conclusion, I assume.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up.
Okay, all right.
Well, Ian, don't get so offended we're asking. I mean, come on. You have a track record.
Right.
We're going to get a text on Tuesday of next week being like, guys, this might be 4 parts.
Yeah, sorry.
let's clear
pages.
November. We're deep diving this one.
Not nice, guys.
No?
No. Scumbags, if you will.
Yeah. Interesting, though, with a family set up like this.
Maybe it's just bad blood in the family, and this line of people need to be eradicated.
Yeah, but Kenneth didn't come from this bloodline, though. Remember, he was adopted.
Oh, yeah.
So chance that the bloodline of Kenneth's biological bloodline and Angelo's bloodline.
Not the same.
Nope. Still produced 2 fucking shitheads.
Is the state to blame for placing him into an adoptive home with a bad bloodline then? Can he sue for compensation?
Can Kenneth sue?
Yeah. They should have adopted him into a non-serial killer bloodline, is the argument that he could make.
Oh, yeah. Like he would have never met Angelo.
Right.
You got to be real scumbag Italians to make the cast of Jersey Shore look like saints, right? Fucking the situation out there, just doing his gym tan laundry, trying to, fuck everything that moves. Snooki just trying to get her snoo. Ronnie just doing his Ron juice, getting everyone drunk. And Sammy Sweetheart just being the fucking smoke show that she always was.
What's Ron juice? Is that what
I don't know. I think it's the Ron juice or Ronnie juice. He used to make it before they would go out. And he would just fucking pour all this shit in. And it'd be like, it almost looked like Kool-Aid. And they would all drink it. And then, hijinks would ensue. And I'd be fucking sitting there watching it.
I'm so glad this was not a part of my life in any way.
Thinking about that show just makes me want to go out and buy an Affliction t-shirt.
Yeah, it's called Ron juice.
So I was right. Ron juice. Yeah. He'd fucking mix this shit and they would drink it all before they went out. This is before they put their T-shirts on, because it wouldn't be T-shirt time until just before they went out, because you didn't want to wrinkle or stain or mess up your T-shirt before you went. So there would be T-shirt time, and that was when the cabs would pull up to take them to wherever club they were going that night. But yeah, while everyone was getting ready, Ron would make his juice, and then they'd all meet in the kitchen and like pregame and drink this shit. And like it's like 12:30, and they're just going out, and I'm like, oh, I want to go to bed. You guys are going to the club at 12:30.
Looks like it's
You can actually find the recipe online.
Yeah, Grey Goose, fresh cranberry juice, fresh watermelon, and ice.
Like watermelon cut up in it?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm on the Jersey Shore subreddit because that's a thing.
Well, they probably know. I mean, cranberry vodka is pretty tasty.
There's no official recipe. This is people like dissecting the show and trying to figure it out.
Well, I think they should arrest and jail everyone that's a member of that subreddit. Just my opinion.
Jesus. That was a part of it, though, is that like I don't think Ronnie ever like talked about what was in it. He would just make it. And they probably edited it to not show everything.
Yeah, this is a pretty active fucking subreddit. There's 92,000 people in here.
Jesus wept.
Yeah. Well, anyways, they're better people than these fucking dipshits. And Dave's like, well.
JWoww was pretty cute, but
she was
the extent of my knowledge.
She was not anymore, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
She's got a lot of stuff done.
I don't like that.
I think Sammy Sweetheart has been pretty consistent, I think.
All right.
I always liked her. Roll Tide, as the kids say.
All right. Fair enough.
Or as just fucking us say, because we listen to wrestling podcasts. Fucking 40-year-old men say. Who have nothing to do with Alabama. All right, well, I guess we'll finish this up next week.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. Nah.
Way to sell a show. All right. Any other thing, Ian, any other thoughts, things you came up with or found or points of interest for this one?
No, nothing. Nothing I can think of, at least right now.
All right. Dave, what do you got for us?
I would like to welcome and thank the following new patrons. Mike Monster mashes his cum in your wife.
For Halloween fitting, I guess.
Steve King, Allie, Janet Powell, Lady Shaman, Wills 86, Rory Tompkinson, Mike, Call Me, It's Yours. So I guess there's an open invite for you, pal.
That's a block.
Karen Hannock, Shelling Ford, Topanga. Yes, like the TV show. You guys a fan of that show?
I was a fan
Boy
of
Meets World
Topanga.
was sweet.
There you go.
She's on Dancing with the Stars now, too.
Is that right?
What's her name? Danielle Fishel.
That is another show that is not in my world.
Gusta.
That's Fred Savage's little brother.
Yeah.
The Boy Meets World kid.
Yeah. Ben Savage.
That's my random knowledge for the day.
Yikes. Daniel Yoder, KC, Tater Tot, Dr. Shots and Nurse Mary Jane, Lainey Zell, Larry S., Brack Barrett, Sammy Murphy, Maya Ballard, David Vieta, Cole Roberts, Declan Deserves Meatball SpaghettiOs. Well, not sure about that.
Fucking spoil him.
Chloe Quirk, Nicholas Gagnon, Michelle Summers, Luke Ingram, Holden Hiscock, Laura Callahan, Shiver Sinclair, Aaron Mayo, Susan Criswell, Casey Anthony's Blumpkin Blowout. Well, that's a party I would go to.
I would buy that DVD.
Balls clap when I walk. Hashtag Jingle Ball Rock.
Reminds me of Larry Longballs.
Ladanbo, Hugh G. Rection, classic. Edwina 893. Luke Pyers. Alex Nickel. Florence Patarolawa. Hannah Riggins. H1CXO. Amanda Ray. Made you read this, Fatso? Is that for me?
Well, that's
made you read this, Fatso? That's not very nice.
That's horribly mean. You don't weight shame on the show.
Jeez.
You old shame Dave. You don't weight shame him.
There's rules and policies in place for this sort of thing. Ramrod 5000. Is that like the cousin of the Gawk Gawk? The Gawk Gawk 8000?
That's from fucking Super Troopers, isn't it?
Oh, is it the Ramrod 5000?
I think so, yeah.
You know, Super Troopers, I won a trip, Howard Stern show to Vegas for a premiere of Super Troopers, and I watched the movie with Gary Delabate.
I forgot about that. You've told us that before.
Yeah, it was cool. Paul Rasmussen, Peen Blog, Chuck Brunke, Nicole Duvall, Carolyn Villarreal, Planet Polio, Ben, MC Schofield, Cameron Shook, Turtle Hayes, Alicia Todd, Vanessa Martin, Brian Herndon, Mika Lynch, Miss Fortune, Daniel Linville, Joe Walsh, Lorena Redman, CJ Ward, Reed Schneider, Tyra Thole, Christina Brown, Amber McLean, Ryan Romine, Julius Lopez, Chance Edging, Dan, Eric Bucknell, That Guy, Travis, Zach Darlin, Elijah Boomer, and Ivy Horn. Thank you, new patrons. Long list. It was 2 weeks worth. Welcome back from vacation.
All right. Good stuff. Ian, what do you got on your end?
On Patreon, we just recently did a news episode. There's a lot of good stuff in that news episode.
That was a really...
What was the name of that news episode?
It was called An Alligator of Support. My cock was in your hoagie. Is that a cam behind the bar? The patient's under. It's time to blow me. So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in that episode.
Have you been back on the Elbow Bar webcam, Ian?
No, I haven't. Have you?
I have not, but I've been meaning to. It's fun watching other people just get stupid drunk and judging them.
Feeling like I was like I was nibbing on people, like being nosy, like looking like, oh yeah, that dude at the bar is trying to definitely hit on that girl.
Yeah. Yeah. ELBO bar. Look it up. We get all into that on Patreon.
Yeah, so that's there. We have a good poll episode coming up for Patreon, a good spooky one for Halloween. So yeah.
That's true. Looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, good stuff. Dave, anything else on your end?
No, sir. Just glad to be back. We're glad to be back.
Glad to have
Feels like
you
it's
back.
been a long time.
Damn glad. Yeah, seems like it.
We're back in the saddle again, as the Beastie Boys once said. We are on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Necronomipod, Patreon.com/Necronomipod, Amazon.com, search Necronomipod for all of our merch, and Necronomipod.com.
All right, you guys ready for a cool down beer?
Cheers.